Wow, the 2023 NBA season is just around the corner. Honestly, that offseason went pretty quickly. It definitely was eventful at the start, and thank God we ended up getting a Donovan Mitchell trade because there was a dry period there in August/September. So what is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? I'm going to be giving you guys my annual award predictions, standing predictions, all of that today. We go through a lot. I give you guys my Eastern Conference standing predictions, same with the Western Conference, my conference finals and NBA finals predictions, all the main awards, all NBA first team, second team, third team, same with defensive teams and rookie teams. And then I also give you guys 5 players that I think could be traded and 5 head coaches that I think could get fired this year. So remember, these are just my predictions. I try to go against the grain a little bit as well. I just don't want to just predict chalk and it's just pretty much what everybody is predicting. So I just try to have a couple different things here and there. And then, yeah, we're going to react to this at the end of the season and we'll see if I was close with any of these or if these were some freezing cold takes. So yeah, drop a like if you guys do enjoy. Let me know some of your predictions down below and let's get into it. So let's start off with my Eastern Conference standing predictions. Coming in at the 15th seed, I have the Indiana Pacers. It's a rebuilding year. They do have some talented guys like Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner. We'll see if he gets traded. Benedict Mathurin, I'm excited to watch this year, but I think that they are going to be the worst team in the Eastern Conference. Coming in at 14, we have the Detroit Pistons. I think they're going to be a lot of fun to watch this year. They're young guys. Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Isaiah Stewart, Sadiq Bey, Jalen Duren. I just don't think it's going to amount to a lot of wins. Coming in at 13, we have the Charlotte Hornets. They were a play-in tournament team last year. Boy, they fell off. The whole Miles Bridges kind of case. Gordon Hayward doesn't look healthy. They didn't really get much better in the offseason. They're going to be one of the more disappointing teams this year, coming in at my 13th seed. Coming in at number 12, we have the Orlando Magic. Yeah, they have a lot of talented guys on this team. I'm excited to watch Paolo Banchero, the number 1 overall pick, Franz Wagner in year 2, Wendell Carter Jr. Is he going to take a step this year? Jalen Suggs, let's hope he can rebound off his poor performance in his rookie season. But I think the Magic are going to be a lot of fun. They're going to flirt with the play-in tournament, coming in at my 12th seed. At 11, we have the Washington Wizards. Yeah, they're not even going to make the play-in tournament after trading for Kristaps last year, having a top 10 pick this year, giving Bradley Beal $250 million. I am not a fan of this team at all. I think they could be a play-in tournament team, but man, the Eastern Conference is pretty loaded this year. Coming in at number 10, we have the Chicago Bulls. Yeah, the 10th seed. They were just a non-play-in tournament playoff team last year, but Lonzo Ball is going to miss a ton of the start of the season. We'll see if Patrick Williams is going to be healthy, take that next step. They still don't really have that legit rim protector. It's Nikola Vucevic and Andre Drummond there at the 5. Both known to be not the greatest rim protectors. Now with the Lonzo injury, the Goran Dragic signing looks a lot better. They do have Alex Caruso, obviously Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, but I do think DeMar DeRozan isn't going to replicate what he did last year. They're going to be coming in as the 10th seed. Coming in at the 9th seed, we have the New York Knicks. You could flop the Knicks or the Bulls. This one I was pretty torn on, and obviously my bias take probably gave the Knicks the 9th seed. They're pretty talented head to toe as well, but like I said for the Wizards and with the Bulls ranking, the East is loaded this year. They got Jalen Brunson in the offseason. Julius Randle can't be that bad again, right? They got Isaiah Hartenstein. We'll see how they do. I have them as the 9th seed. Coming in at the 8th seed, we have the Toronto Raptors, a very talented team. I am very high on Pascal Siakam this year and this Raptors squad. Yeah, they would be like the 5th seed in any normal like Eastern Conference year for the last decade, but they're the 8th seed this year. Coming in at number 7, we have a team that made a pretty big trade in the offseason, the Atlanta Hawks. They acquired DeJounte Murray. They are going to go up a seed from the 8th seed to the 7th seed. But like I keep saying, the East is loaded. Yes, they could end up as the 4th or the 5th seed 100%. This is just what I'm predicting them at right now, because I don't know if I love that Murray-Young backcourt just yet. Coming in at number 6, we have the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, they still have Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. They're going to get a healthy Ben Simmons. He's going to play. So I think that just all the talent they have, there's no way that they aren't a playoff team this year, especially just like, I don't know. Like, yeah, this team could just combust and blow up and somebody wants out and people just aren't playing. But as of now, with the talent they have, they're a top 6 team, in my opinion. Coming at the 5th seed, we have the Miami Heat. Yes, a lot of their guys are getting older. Kyle Lowry, who I don't think is going to be great this year. Jimmy Butler's getting up there, but he's still one of the top guys in the league. We'll see if Duncan Robinson can bounce back. Tyler Hero just got paid. I'm thinking there's going to be a big year from Bam Adebayo. But that's going to move them as the 5th seed, because a team that is the 4th seed just jumped them recently. And yeah, that 4th seed, you guessed it, is the Cleveland Cavaliers. I am so excited about this backcourt and this frontcourt. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen in the frontcourt. Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland in the backcourt. They could go a long way this year. Coming in at the 3 seed, we have the Milwaukee Bucks. They could be flirting with the 2 seed or the 1 seed. We'll see how healthy they are throughout this year, because they're a team that if some guy goes down, it really hurts because they are a very top-heavy team. They have the best player in the NBA, in my opinion, in Giannis Antetokounmpo. And then if Middleton or Drew Holiday gets hurt, there's not a lot of depth on this team. But if they do stay healthy, and that's what I'm predicting this to be, they are going to be a top 3 team in the East. Coming at the 2 seed with the reigning Eastern Conference NBA champions, and that are the Boston Celtics. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They picked up Malcolm Brogdon in the offseason. They really didn't lose anybody of importance, and this isn't saying that they're the second best team in the East. This is just where I think that they will finish in the standings because, people will have their load management. Players will get injured, but that doesn't mean that I don't think they're going to go far in the playoffs. I'm coming in at the number 1 team in the East. I have the Philadelphia 76ers. Is this the year that Joel Embiid wins MVP? Is this the year that they are healthy? People are higher on James Harden. People are higher on Tyrese Maxey. Now, I don't think that they're going to be a finals team, but I do think that they could be the 1 seed by the end of the regular season. All right, coming in the Western Conference now. At the 15 seed, we have the OKC Thunder. No Chet Holmgren throughout this year. They're one Shai Gilgeous-Alexander injury away from just being the worst team in the league. Coming at the 14 seed, we have the San Antonio Spurs. They traded their best player in the offseason. I'm very excited to watch their young guys develop, but yeah, they're tanking for Wemby. Coming at the 13 seed, we have the Utah Jazz. They are also tanking for Wemby. They traded their 2 best players in the offseason last year. I'm excited to see who bowls out on this team this year and if they trade any more veterans. At the 12th seed, we have the Houston Rockets. While I do think that some young guys can take the next step, like Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., Alperen Şengün, there's still going to be a couple of rough patches along the way. At the 11th seed, this sucks. The NBA is so talented, but the Sacramento Kings are going to come here. Yeah, I don't even have them in the play-in tournament. It sucks. I want the Kings to make the playoffs. I really do. Just not this year. I'm excited to watch Keegan Murray, though. I think he's going to be really good. Coming at the 10th seed, we have the Portland Trailblazers. Yeah, a team that paid Anthony Simons. They traded for Jeremy Grant. It's just, I don't know. They have still a lot of weaknesses defensively, and I think there's just 9 teams better than them in the West. Now, coming in the 9th seed, I have them missing the playoffs. The LA Lakers. I think I would be even impressed if they finished as the 9th seed. I was being very generous to them here because they do have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. But yeah, they need some good play out of Russell Westbrook this year if they want to make the playoffs because there are 8 teams that I think are definitely better than them at the moment. Coming in at the 8th seed, we have the New Orleans Pelicans. Another very talented roster. Can't believe they are here at only the 8th seed. Like, this team on paper should be like a 4 or 5 seed. We'll see with the health of Zion Williamson. We'll see how Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, Jonas Valanciunas, they all coexist this year. They are a very deep team. They can withstand injuries. I like them a lot. Coming in at number 7, we have the Dallas Mavericks. I actually hate this roster. I don't like it at all, but they do have Luka Doncic. I can't bet against them. They did pick up Christian Wood in the offseason. Looks like he's going to be coming off the bench, but yeah, Luka, top guy in the league. He's going to carry them to a playoff spot no matter what the roster is looking like around him. Coming at the 6th seed, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves, a team that made a massive trade in the 2022 offseason acquiring Rudy Gobert. I love that. They are going to stagger the minutes where Rudy's playing with D'Lo and Cat's playing with Ant. I'm a big fan of that. They're coming in as my 6th seed. Coming in at number 5, we have the Denver Nuggets. Now, I'm not too optimistic about this team because I do think that this might be a rehab year for Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. Nikola Jokic is still going to be in the MVP conversation, and he's the reason why they are the 5th seed, but I think they might be more of a threat in 2024 than in 2023. Coming in at number 4, we have the LA Clippers. Now, I do think that they are one of the best teams in the Western Conference, a top 2 team, but with Kawhi Leonard coming back from a major injury, John Wall, Paul George, all up there in age, they are going to have their fair share of load management. I don't think that they are going to be a top record team in the West because they are going to miss a lot of games, but they are still one of the more talented teams in the West. Coming in at number 3, we have the Phoenix Suns. I also don't even love this prediction because so much stuff is coming out of Suns camp that just doesn't feel like this team is going to replicate what they did last year, but they still have Mikal Bridges, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and DeAndre Ayton. I think they could still be a top 3 seed if they don't combust like the Brooklyn Nets I mentioned earlier. Coming in number 2, we have the Golden State Warriors. We'll see how the big 3 of Draymond, Clay, and Steph are a year older, and we'll see how much the young guys can step up like Jordan Poole like he did last year, Kuminga, James Wiseman, Modest Moody. So yeah, they're the 2 seed, and coming in at number 1, we have the Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah, I think they are going to have the most wins in the Western Conference. Do I think that they're the best team in the West? No, but I think they can finish as the 1 seed. Yes. They have a lot of young guys. They have a good kind of mix of veterans. They're a very deep roster. They can withstand injuries. Just maybe not to Ja Morant, even though they showed last year that they could play well without Ja. Yeah, so they're going to be my 1 seed prediction. So in my Eastern Conference Finals, I have the Milwaukee Bucks beating the Philadelphia 76ers. I do think that the Celtics are better than the Sixers, but the way I seeded these standings, the Bucks and the Celtics would face each other in round 2 since they are the 2 seed and the 3 seed. So I have the Bucks, I guess, beating the Celtics and the Sixers in the conference finals to go to the NBA finals. As for the Western Conference Finals, I have the LA Clippers defeating the Golden State Warriors. I do think that Memphis could be better than Golden State this year, but like I just mentioned, the Eastern Conference playoffs, the way the seedings are, the Clippers would have to beat the Grizzlies in round 2, and they would get the Warriors or maybe the Suns in round 3. So my two teams that I think are going to be making the finals are the Milwaukee Bucks and the LA Clippers, and I have the Milwaukee Bucks over the LA Clippers in 6 games. And you could probably guess it, Giannis Antetokounmpo as your finals MVP. All right, so now that the team kind of standings, playoff predictions are out of the way, let's get into some individual awards. So for my MVP pick, I'm pretty adamant on this coming from a team that is a top 2 record in each conference, or at least a top 4 to 5 record in the NBA. So my MVP prediction is Joel Embiid. I actually predicted Joel Embiid to win MVP back in 2020, but he's had his fair share of injuries, but I do predict the Sixers to be the 1 seed. And if Embiid plays 70 plus games, which is a big if, I think he can win that award. Coming in at Rookie of the Year, I wanted to be a little bit quirky, but I didn't end up going that way. That would have been Keegan Murray, but I'm going to go with Paolo Banchero. I think he's going to be a shoo-in because Chet hurt. Don't love Jabari Smith to really put up the stat sheet numbers in his rookie year. Same with Jaden Ivey. I think Keegan Murray could have like probably the second most sexiest stats from a rookie, but I think it's going to be Banchero winning that award. Coming in at my deploy, I wanted to be different here. I wasn't going to go Marcus Smart to repeat. I mean, I don't even think I was going to predict that. Just tough for a guard. Could have went Giannis. Didn't go that. Rudy Gobert didn't go that because that would have been a little bit obvious. I'm going Bam Adebayo. I think we might see another player winning it for the first time this year. Sixth man of the year. This could have gone so many different ways. I ended up going with Bones Highland of the Denver Nuggets. I loved watching him play last year. He could be an amazing spark for the Nuggets off the bench again this year, so he's going to be my pick. My most improved player. This is probably going to be a very popular pick, but it might not come to fruition if this team, like I predicted it to be, is going to be the worst team in the Eastern Conference, and that is Tyrese Halliburton. I think he's going to put up the numbers. I think he's going to be very good for the Pacers, and who knows? That team is a very well-ran organization. They could end up as the 12th seed, and then he maybe wins that award, but it could go to somebody else. But Halliburton is going to be my pick. And for my coach of the year, it's going to be Taylor Jenkins of the Memphis Grizzlies. I do have the Grizzlies being the 1 seed in the Western Conference. He's never won the award before. The narrative could be by his side, so he's going to be my pick for that award. And then finally, my executive of the year is going to go to Kobe Altman of the Cleveland Cavaliers. So my All-NBA first team, these are just a crapshoot at this point. I would be very impressed if I can predict 3 to the 5. So my guards are Luka Doncic and Ja Morant. My forwards are Giannis Antetokounmpo and Jason Tatum, and my center is Joel Embiid. All-NBA second team, for the guards, we have Steph Curry and Devin Booker. For the forwards, we have Kevin Durant and Jimmy Butler, and for the center, we have Nikola Jokic. All-NBA third team guards are Damian Lillard and Trae Young. Forwards are LeBron James and Anthony Davis, both from the LA Lakers. And center, we have Bam Adebayo edging out Cat, mainly because he won DPOY, so I think he will get in there. All defensive first team, we have Drew Holiday and Marcus Smart at the guard spots, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Jimmy Butler at the forward spots, and Bam Adebayo at the 5. And all defensive second team, we have some fun ones in here. Herb Jones and Matisse Thybulle in the backcourt, big Herb Jones guy. In the front court, we have Mikal Bridges and Evan Mobley. I'm excited to see Evan Mobley, or just to say his name in this video, and Rudy Gobert at the 5. Even though those aren't really position, like, I don't know, they might even be positionalists this year. Our rookie first team, these are definitely positionalists, and we have Jaden Ivey, Benedict Mathurin, Paolo Banchero, Keegan Murray, and Jabari Smith. And for all rookie second team, we have Malachi Branham of the San Antonio Spurs, Ochai Agbaji of the Utah Jazz, Jeremy Shohan of the San Antonio Spurs, Tari Eason of the Houston Rockets, and Jalen Duren of the Detroit Pistons. So yeah, those are me predicting those team awards for the defensive teams, All-NBAs, and rookie teams. Now here are kind of my favorite ones to predict every year, because I'm actually pretty solid at predicting these. So I'm going to be giving you guys 5 guys that I think could be traded by the deadline, as well as 5 coaches that could get fired by the end of the season. So coming in at number 1 of the players that can be traded, I only put 1 Jazz player in here because, yeah, Mike Conley could get traded and a couple other guys, but I have Jordan Clarkson. I think he's going to be a very valuable asset come the deadline. He might even be a guarantee. Coming in at number 2, we have a similar player to Jordan Clarkson, and that is Alec Burks of the Detroit Pistons. They'd be very silly not to even get like a second round pick from him at the deadline. Coming in number 3, this player, I think, like, with the team not being good and him being good this year, would have a lot of value. It's just his contract is kind of big, and that is Terry Rozier of the Charlotte Hornets. He's one of the best 3-point shooters in the league, and we'll just see how he matches up contract-wise at the deadline. Coming in number 4, this is a big one that I just wanted to throw out here. It's DeAndre Ayton. Now, DeAndre Ayton can't be traded till January 15th, and he can veto any trade, to my understanding, but I don't know. There's a lot of weird things coming out of the training camp. He's kind of my wild card in here, my bigger name that I think could get traded. So we'll keep an eye on it. And coming in at number 5, I have 2 players right here of the same team, and that is Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. So yeah, it's really 6 players that could get traded. These guys are kind of obvious as well, because I think the Pacers are going to be bad, and they're going to be pretty valuable to playoff teams at the deadline. And lastly, here are my 5 head coaches that I think could be fired by year's end. Number 1, Tom Thibodeau of the New York Knicks. There's a scenario this year where the Knicks are like the 13th 13 seed. They disappoint once again. You know, they have a very short lease with their head coaches. So that's a way that Tibbs could just be on his way out. Number 2 is Billy Donovan as Chicago Bulls. This is very similar to Tibbs. If the Bulls underperform, they don't make the playoffs as my predictions go, he could be fired. He also doesn't have the best track record like ever, like just kind of in his days in OKC. So, you know what? Maybe the Bulls are like, we can go in a new direction. Number 3 is Dwayne Casey. I think I predicted him to get fired the last couple of years. Maybe it's a mutual let go, but hey, the Pistons seem pretty adamant on him being that rebuilding guy. I just think like maybe they have to move on eventually, but I don't know. I just threw him in here. It's very hard to predict because there was a lot of new head coaches within the last 2 years. Coming in at number 4, we have Steve Nash. This one could very well happen if the Nets underperform, if KD expresses his opinions even more. So yeah, I don't think Steve Nash will be the Brooklyn Nets head coach in 2024. And coming in at number 5, we have Chauncey Billups of the Portland Trailblazers. There's just a way this year that the Trailblazers underperform and he's just not getting along with Damian Lillard, or just they think they need to go in a new direction. That's with a lot of these. Basically, it's just teams underperforming. But hey, the East, the West, there is a lot of talent in this league right now. It's definitely the most talent I think I've ever seen in this league as an NBA fan since I started watching in 07, and definitely since I started making content back in 2014. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the video down below. Let me know what you really disagree with. I would love to see what we differ on opinions with down below. And hey, if you liked any of my predictions, please let me know. I'd love to agree on them. But yeah, drop a like if you guys did enjoy. I'm very excited for the 2023 season, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.